So before we get started on any kind of code or diving in, I first want to give you a good tour of Unity. I want to kind of give you a brief synopsis of all the different windows and features that you're going to encounter. It's really important to be comfortable in the software before you start coding so that you kind of understand more the goal of what you're trying to accomplish with your code. So I'm going to go over this first. This should be the first thing you see pop up. Keep in mind that I'm on Unity 2017.1.0 F3. This is the newest version as of October 16th, 2017. So just keep in mind things might look a little bit different. Just try to feel your way around if things are kind of rearranged, but everything should be pretty much the same. Now, you're welcome to go ahead and skip this sign in. I do suggest you make an account. We can just go ahead and skip this for now. There we go. Now what you'll see, they have 5 different options here with a download button, okay? Now these are some really cool tutorials that Unity's done for their customers. So they're free, they're really good. I haven't gone through any of these personally, but I've skimmed through them and I've had some students and other people tell me they've gone through them and they said they were great. They look fantastic. They have different genres, different types of games. You'll learn a lot by going through these. So I do suggest at some point you go through these as supplement to this video series or school or however else you're learning. These are a wonderful tool that are free at your disposal, okay? But what we're going to do, we're going to make our own new project. We're going to start from scratch. Everything's going to be from scratch in these lessons. I really want to get everyone kind of just really comfortable doing everything on their own. So we're going to come up and hit this new button. Now there's a couple different things here. It might look a little bit different if you're signed in. I believe there's a couple different options when you're signed in, but everything is essentially the same. Now project name, you're welcome to call us whatever you want. Same for location, wherever you want to put that, that's totally fine, totally up to you. This is the folder I put all my projects in, so that's up to you. Now you have this 3D and 2D option. Now a lot of people are kind of intimidated by this and think, okay, am I committing to something? Am I completely committing this being a totally 2D game or totally 3D game? No, it's essentially just setting up what the initial setup is going to be for a new scene, a new level, new objects and stuff like that. So it's kind of just initial settings. These are all things that can be changed later on, so don't stress about this. We're just going to leave it on 3D and we're going to hit create project, okay? Now give it a minute. It's going to create all the assets required, everything that you need to get your project ready to go. All right. Cool. So here we are. This is the default layout for Unity. Okay. Now I will tell you, I understand it's probably intimidating. I know what this is like. I mean, even after all my years of experience with all kinds of different software and coding programs and IDEs and all this kind of stuff, I still get intimidated by new software. I open up a new piece of software, I see all these windows and knobs and buttons and options. It's very intimidating. I get that, okay? So just kind of bear with me. I'm going to walk through this stuff with you guys. These lessons are made for people starting from scratch, so don't think I'm just going to zoom over everything. I'm going to go over everything with you as if you're totally fresh, which I'm assuming most of you are if you bought these lessons. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I lay out all these windows, and then the next lesson is going to be going over each individual window and really showing you in depth what each of them is capable of, why they're there, why we're going to use them, what kind of things we're going to be doing in those windows, okay? So right now I'm just getting a layout set up for you guys, okay? So if you have questions on what these windows are for, that should be answered in the next lesson. Now I am not a big fan of the initial layout. The default layout is not that great to me. The main reason is because you see we have this hierarchy, project, and inspector window. They're all separated. Now, there's going to be a lot of dragging between these 3 windows. So to me, I like to have them closer together. It seems kind of weird to have them so far apart where I'm dragging things all the way from here to here and back and forth between all these 3. So I'm going to rearrange this in a way it's comfortable, and the layout I'm showing you, this is the one I personally use on a day-to-day basis. Now what I want you to do is please use my layout for at least the first couple of lessons, okay? Even if you don't think you like it, that's fine, but I want you to start off using the same one so there's no discrepancy between what you're seeing on my screen and your screen. This way it's going to make your learning process a lot more efficient. You'll have to pause a lot less, because if your stuff is totally different, you're going to have to take a lot more time to say, oh, well, he's clicking here, but my window is over here on the other side. So just stick with my layout for the first couple lessons, and then after that you are more than welcome to change it however you want. If you don't like how I do something, that's totally fine, okay? So I'm going to keep the inspector over here on the right side of the screen. What I'm going to do is I want to put my hierarchy window so that it is sharing this space, okay? I want it to be taking up half of this space right here. So the inspector is going to be on the right side of this half. The hierarchy is going to be over here. So what you'll also notice is some of these windows have multiple tabs in them, okay? So here we have scene, game, and asset store all sharing one window space, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to grab this hierarchy, drag this over here, and what you'll notice is, I'll do that one more time for you. If I grab this tab, drag it over, you'll see it kind of snaps in when I get to certain points of another window. See that? Snaps right in there. That's how you know you're in a spot where it's going to lock it in. Now if you accidentally had come up here and you did this, where it came out into its own separate window, that's fine, okay? We can fix that. Now one solution to fix that is to close it out. The problem is we don't see it anymore. I can't see hierarchy anywhere on my working space, okay? So what you can do, if you close out a window, you can just come right up to window, just find the one you're looking for, and it'll bring it right back up for you, okay? So here's hierarchy. I'm going to go ahead and bring that back up. Now, again, my goal is to snap it in here. The issue that I see some people doing is they try to grab it like this and dock it in. They see it's not working, and they freak out. Don't freak out. It's not a big deal. You just have to be grabbing it on the actual tab part of it, okay? So I'm going to grab this here. There we go. And I'm going to snap it in there. See how it snaps in? There we go. And that's perfect, okay? You can also rearrange the size of them. Do whatever you want with those. Okay, so this is where I want to be right now, okay? What I'm going to do now, I want this project window to be sharing the space down here. I want it to be kind of dividing horizontally this hierarchy, okay? So I'm going to grab this project. I'm going to dock it down here at the lower center of my hierarchy window. Just like that. Perfect. Now one thing you'll notice here, the scene and game window, these are both sharing that same window space. I like to be able to see my scene and game window at the same time. I know a lot of other people do as well. That's something you'll see a lot later on. We really get into testing our game over and over again. When you get into dealing with making animations, you're really going to want that. So I'm going to go ahead and separate these, and I'm going to bring my game window down here in this space right here. Okay? Perfect. This is good. Now the one last thing here, you see the scene and asset store sharing a window. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of my asset store for now. We don't need that at the moment. Great. This is good. So everything is set up. This is basically how I work on a day-to-day basis. Sometime if I'm not really doing a lot of coding, I don't need to see my console. Sometimes I'll have my console down here. That's fine too. Whatever works for you, whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep this over here for now because we're going to be looking at this console a lot, okay? So again, the next lesson, I'm going to really go over these windows one by one. We're really going to talk about them, figure out what's going on, what each of them are for. And again, I know it's overwhelming. I know there's a lot going on here. I know it's new. I know it's kind of scary, but I'm going to go through this with you. You're going to be fine. One thing you will see here, this does have an error. Yours might not have that error. To be honest with you, I'm not sure why this is here on default. It's something to do with how it loaded up. I'm just going to clear this out for now. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so this is the layout. This is what I use. This is what we're going to be using. So stick with me. Next lesson, we'll go over each of these windows and really walk through them, okay?